And during this hour, we will be talking about traveling. So we'll start out working with phrasal verbs, and if time, we will go on to um, other questions and have a guided free discussion. Hello, Mark. How are you today?
Hi, Holly. I'm just fine, and you?
Very good. Very good.
Awesome.
All right. Remind me where you're from. For some reason, I cannot remember. Is
I'm
it
from
Brazil?
Brazil.
It is
Yeah,
Brazil. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. And it's quite late in Brazil though, isn't it?
It's midnight right now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, hello Elena. How are you today?
Hello, Holly. I'm fine, and you?
Very good. Very good. It's been at least a week since I've seen you or more. Were you on vacation?
No, I haven't vacation because I am a job. I'm very busy.
Oh.
When I had vacation, I have lesson. I can have lessons, or
Oh, I
I
can have
have
less.
lessons.
I
Yes.
see. I see. After the vacation, it's like you're busy, busy, busy. Got it. Totally
Oh
understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I returned to my work after vacation, and
Got
there are
it.
a lot of this
Uh-huh.
awful work.
Yeah. So what time is it in the Ukraine right now? Is it 7 or 8
Uh,
a.m.?
it's 6 o'clock in the morning
Oh, it's even earlier than I thought.
because
So,
then I have to go to my job, so I
uh-huh.
want to learn English in the early morning.
Oh, perfect, perfect. I had for when I first started here at Verbling, there was a guy from the Ukraine that actually took classes at the 7 a.m. time period every day, and that's what he
Oh,
did. He took classes and then he went to work. So
yeah.
awesome. All right. So Constantine, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Very good. And so is it 9 a.m. where you are?
Yeah, 9 a.m.
I got it. It's exactly 12-hour difference from between us. So that's the only reason I know. So, all right. All right. So during this class, we are going to talk about phrasal verbs and practice phrasal verbs regarding travel. So before we actually get started, so I thought maybe everybody could tell us about the last trip or that you have taken. For me, the last trip that I took was several years ago. I think it was in 2000. Um, I, so in 2013, I went to Wyoming to my a good friend's wedding. And so that was the last time I actually went on a trip. So went on vacation. How about you, Mark? Could you tell us about your last vacation or last time you traveled?
Last time I traveled, it was last year. I went to Argentina, I went to Buenos Aires.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you fly or did you drive?
No. Uh, what's the path of flight, really?
Yeah.
I
Well,
hold on.
some people like road trips. I'm sure it's like a 24-hour,
No,
a 3-day drive.
I was talking about a verb. It's a regular verb, right?
To drive,
No, no, flight,
fly, flew, flown.
flew. So, yeah, I went by plane. I flew.
Uh-huh. I flew, yeah. I flew. Yeah, you'd say I flew. All right. And was it a good trip?
Yeah, it was amazing. It's such an awesome place.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really great time there with my friends, Argentinian friends.
Uh-huh. Excellent. All right. Thank you. And Lena, how about you? Could you tell us about the last time you went on a trip?
Uh, a big trip that I had was 1.5 year ago. Uh, it was a journey to Sri Lanka. And sometimes I have little trips in Ukraine near my town. I can go by car near my town.
Okay, so sometimes you go on little road trips, but this one was a bigger trip to the other part of Ukraine, right?
Yes, I use yes, I use flying.
You
I
flew.
used
You flew.
yes, I flew. It
Uh-huh.
was very interesting experience. My life very
Mhm.
different. It was very different journey
Mhm.
from
Okay.
another journey that I had before.
Really? Okay. But so you travel quite frequently in your area though, in your region?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sometimes when I have my vacation, I like to go. I live in the south of Ukraine. It's near Black Sea, and I like to go to the beach near the sea.
Uh-huh. Mhm. Okay. All right, thank you. And Constantine, how about you? Where was the last time you traveled?
I I traveled last time to US, uh,
Mhm.
US and Costa Rica. I
Oh.
I was in California, Las Vegas,
Mhm.
uh, about 2 weeks, and 2 weeks I was in Costa Rica. It's a beautiful place.
Mhm. Okay.
Uh,
I've heard really good things about Costa Rica. Is it as is it beautiful? Are the people friendly as well?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
People are friendly there.
Uh-huh. Awesome. Yeah, because I've heard great things about Costa Rica, so awesome. All right. Well, let's look at these sentences below. Fill in the spaces using a verb from the box in the middle. Let's change the form of the verb where necessary. So the verbs we have are look, set, check, drop, pick, and then look again. So let's start with this first one. Mark, could you do that one?
Yeah. Could you pick me up from the airport next week?
Sure. What time are you arriving? At 5 o'clock, or please say it's late at night because I don't like
Okay.
to.
Yeah, at midnight.
Midnight, perfect, perfect. 'Cause
Yeah.
there'll be less traffic that time. Time.
Yeah.
Okay, Lena, could you do the next one?
It's best to. I don't understand this sentence.
Okay, okay. So it's best to. Um,
to 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 drop.
okay, bear with me a moment. Yeah. Okay. So if you think about when you go to an airport, what do you have to do when you first get to the airport?
To show the no, to take the baggage.
Uh-huh. Take the baggage and show your ticket, right? And so do you know what that phrasal verb is? So does anyone know what that one would be? Anyone want to help Lena?
Check,
Check
checking,
in.
Yeah.
check.
So to check in. So when you go to the airport, you check in first thing. And for international flights, it's at least 2 hours in advance. But nowadays, people are starting to check in online, and they're not actually going to the desk anymore. So, okay, next one. So Constantine.
Alfie, uh, look around the Louvre when he was in Paris last month.
Yeah, so Alfie looked around the Louvre when he was in Paris last month. Very good. So, okay. And Mark, the next one.
Okay. Tom dropped me off outside the terminal building.
Okay, so Tom dropped you off and I'm picking you up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of funny that you got both of them.
Yeah.
So, okay, and next one. Lena, could you do one of these?
We should set off before the rush hour tomorrow morning.
Perfect. We should set off before the rush hour tomorrow morning. To set off means to leave. So we should leave before the traffic gets bad. Okay? All right, next one. Constantine, can you do this one?
Claire is really looking forward to her new year vacation.
Perfect. So looking forward. To look forward to something. Perfect. Claire is really looking forward to her New Year vacation. Excellent. So, okay. So let's check your understanding. So we've got we've got looked around, drop off, set off, pick up, check in, and look forward to. So those are the phrasal verbs. So which one of these phrasal verbs mean to meet someone waiting and take him or her by car?
To pick somebody up.
To pick somebody up. So to pick up. Very good. Sorry about my dog. He's barking at other dogs in the neighborhood. So to pick up. All right. And so Lena, what would be to visit?
To look.
To visit. Yeah, to look around. Yeah.
To look around.
Yeah, to look around. Exactly. All right. To drive someone to a place. Constantine, what would that be?
Drop off.
To drop off. Very good. Okay, and Mark, what would to show your ticket or leave your bags at an airport be?
To check in.
To check in. Very good. Okay, and Lena, to feel excited about a future event.
To look forward.
Yeah, yes, to look forward. Did you like my hint?
Yeah.
To look forward. Okay, and what would to begin a journey be, Constantine?
Set off.
To set off, yes.
Set off.
To set off. Okay. Question for you, Constantine. When you are traveling, maybe going on a road trip, and you're driving somewhere, do you usually like to set off early in the morning or late at night? When do you usually set off on your trip?
I would like to set off my my journey in the evening because if it's a long time journey, I can sleep in the plane.
Okay. Yeah. So you set off, and you usually go on airplanes when you go on journeys.
Usually I travel by plane.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Now, how about you, Lena? when you go on journeys, short or long journeys, do you like to set off early in the morning or late at night?
When I go by car, I like to set off in the early morning. When I use airport, it doesn't matter for me.
Uh-huh.
I can fly in different time.
At different times, okay.
Yes, but it's very difficult. It's only difficult for me to set off in midnight. I think I want to sleep in this time.
Yeah, all right. Excellent. Excellent. And Mark, how about you?
I definitely prefer to set off early, in order to try to avoid the rush hour in the morning. So set off early. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you set off as early as possible. Yeah, I am
Yep.
too. I usually do that too. I took a road trip once where I couldn't set off until like 4 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon, and that was like so late.
Yeah.
So all right. So Mark, tell us, what is something that right now, maybe either a trip or event, or is there something right now that you are looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to the U.S., so that I can make sure that my English is really improving.
Oh, excuse me. Say that again.
No, I said that I'm looking forward to visiting the U.S.
Oh, when are you going to visit? Do you have any specific plans as to when you are going to visit the U.S.?
Yeah, I have a friend in North Carolina and also some friends in Miami, and so I probably will visit them. I think in a year and a half, probably.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. That's great. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I've heard. It's funny because you're from Brazil, and I hear so much, but there's so many people from Brazil in Florida. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because that's where the Finns all go to. They all go to Florida.
Yeah, it's
So I
been
wonder
really
if
hard to practice English there, I think.
yeah.
There are so many Spanish. I know people. I think people speak a lot of Spanish, uh, maybe even more than English. But
Uh-huh.
I'll avoid those people.
Yeah.
I'll
I,
avoid those people.
I met a guy from, I don't remember what country he was. I think it was from Peru or Bolivia or something. I can't remember. It was a country in South America. He was traveling in Finland, and he had lived in what was it? He had lived in Florida for 6 months, and during that 6 months, he did not speak a word of English. So,
Yeah, that's really bad.
yeah, unfortunately, that's the case. So, so when you hear that there are students here in Verbling that are actually living in the U.S. or the U.K., that's probably why. So,
Yeah.
Elena, yeah, exactly. Lena, could you tell us about maybe an event that you are looking forward to?
Yes, I'm looking forward to go to Canada.
Are you? Yeah, that's right. You're hoping to get to Canada eventually. So, is there any specific? Do you have any specific timelines that you're going, or is it just something in the future that you're hoping to do?
I hope if everything will be okay, I hope it will be possible in this year.
During this year. Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. And
Maybe in the winter.
In the winter, oh no! It's well, of course, you have being from the Ukraine would have no problem with the winter weather in Canada, but it would be like Mark going to the Ukraine, Mark going to Canada in the middle of winter. I did train somebody here in Verbling from Brazil who was moving up to Canada during the middle of winter. so so
Yeah, but remember, I live in the coldest state here in Brazil, so I'm already
oh
used to cold weather and even
oh
snow.
that's right.
But I
Okay, so
think it's even colder there. But it'll be awesome for me. I love cold weather.
Do you like cold weather? Me too. I absolutely love it. In fact, I have this lesson. Yeah, watch for it. There's a lesson about the coldest city in the world that I
Wow.
have, and it's a Constantine. It's over in your area. Do you know what city that is? It's over. I don't think it's very close to you if you're, but it's in somewhere in the Siberia, where it gets on average during the winter minus 80 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
You,
No, no, no. I live in Siberia, but winter is not very cold.
yeah,
Uh, about 15 from 15 to 30 degrees.
yeah. Okay.
Sometimes several days can be 30, 35.
Is it not cold?
But yeah, it's
Minus
cold.
30, minus
But
35.
when I was in New York, the temperature was about -5 degrees.
Yep.
But I feel I feel it's 50, how it's 50 degrees. It was very cold, wind and humidity. Uh, I want to say then in a different place, a different temperature can feel a different way,
Mhm. It's
different
true.
ways. I when I can feel better than 30 degrees, minus
Minus
30
30.
degrees.
Minus 30
Uh,
degrees.
but but I never uh, uh, I never so be cold when I was in New York. I put all my clothes, put on all my clothes, and I feel very cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've noticed that too, where you can be somewhere else where it's actually not as cold, but it feels colder. so
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being in Korea, and for me, the reason it felt cold there for me is because they didn't have central heat. And so when I would leave my classroom that had a little heater, I would have to put my coat on because the rest of the building was cold. so that's why it was cold for me. So yeah. So Elena, do you?
Yeah, in my country, the winter is very. It's not. There is no snow, but a lot of snow. But there is very cold because big wind.
Wind,
Sorry,
because of the
wind.
wind. Hmm.
Yes, wind, and we have as I think we have the weather as in New York,
Yeah.
because the wind and the wet,
Uh-huh.
the ice.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes our winter is strong, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And I just moved up about 2 hours north of where I've been living. And one of the reasons, it's not the main reason, but I guess one of the positives to this move was that during the winter, the average temperature is -5, and I absolutely love cold weather. It's crazy. So where I have been living, they call it the banana belt of Idaho, where usually the average temperature in the winter is like +5. So to me, I call that a heat wave in the wintertime. So anyway, let's go on. Constantine, is there anything that you are looking forward to?
I'm looking forward every journey, every trip, and as for me, I can I consider Bali as a beautiful place I'm looking forward every time.
So how often do you travel there?
I've been to Bali about 5 times.
Ah, wow. So you like warm weather.
Yeah, I like Bali. I like the weather in Bali, and I like surfing.
Okay. Okay. So so I think you should try Brazil too, right, Mark?
Yeah, definitely.
So it sounds like he would like. There's I think several countries in the world. Of course, Florida is also like that too.
As U.S., I'm afraid of sharks, and I don't, and my wife afraid of sharks, and I don't know. Can I surf in this area or not?
Okay. Yeah. So, well, it depends on. I know that you can in some parts of the U.S. I don't know because I'm from the mountain region, so I have no idea about that type of weather. So, Hawaii, I think you can surf in Hawaii and Los Angeles.
Hawaii is the best place to surf, but
Yeah.
there are sharks in this area, and very and accidents with sharks happens very often.
I didn't know that. So, but since I'm not a surfer, I wouldn't know that. So, all right. Let's go on to the next one. So Constantine, when you go to an airport nowadays, do you check in online, or do you have that ability to? Can you check in online?
Sometimes I check in online. Sometimes I check in airport. I don't know. I don't know why. Because I can check online. Check the many airlines offer to check online, but sometimes I check sometimes I check in the airport.
Okay. Yeah, so it just depends on the trip and so forth. So I personally have only checked in online once, and that was because I was at the Newark International Airport in New Jersey, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So otherwise, like in Idaho, checking in, I'd prefer to check in when I get there, just because it's such a small airport. So, Elena, how about you? Do you have the ability to check in online? And if you do you prefer to check in online or when you arrive?
Yes, I used to check in online. Mm, it's very convenient for me because I live in a little town, so I can sit near my computer and choose different propositions from airplane companies. So it's very interesting to choose something to see different supplies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. I think.
Yes, and it was very interesting for me because uh, I checked in online. I ordered online my ticket from Warsaw.
Uh-huh.
But I live in Ukraine, so I went to Krakow by train. Then I went from Krakow to Warsaw by train. Then I went to the airport. I mm, showed my passport.
Mm.
I put it on special machine, special computer, and my ticket. Uh, and I took my ticket from this special machines from this computer. It was interesting for me. So and it's very convenient. It was very
Right.
convenient.
Yeah.
Do you understand my?
Yeah, I totally understand you. So yeah, because you had never done that before, so it was like, oh wow, I can do this, you know. So all right. Yeah, Mark, how about you? When you travel, do you prefer to check in online or do you have that ability actually in your local
Yeah,
airport? And
yeah, I can do that. Thank God we can do that.
so you like to as
Uh,
well, okay?
yeah, I usually do that. I usually go to São Paulo or Rio
Uh-huh.
once or twice a month, and I always check in online. It's much better.
Mhm. Yeah. And I just for some reason I guess I'm old. I don't know. What if I check in online at home, and then I get into get in a traffic jam, and I don't make it to the airport in time?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
because I don't get the point of the checking in online if you're not actually there at the airport, because that's what you're doing is you're checking in. So for me it's just I just don't do it for that reason.
I usually do that on my way to the airport.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
that
that makes more sense.
yeah, that I make sure that I can get there in time.
Yeah, yeah, because otherwise, I don't know. I'm thinking, wow, I check in and then I don't get there. I miss the plane. I don't know. So anyway, um, look around. Question for you. The example sentence here is Alfie looked around the Louvre when he was in Paris last month. So, Lena, when you are at traveling, do you enjoy looking around museums, like art museums and other museums?
Yes. When
What
I
kind of,
was yeah. What was?
I was
Repeat.
going to say, what kind of museums do you like the best?
Oh, when I was in Amsterdam and then I was in Paris,
Hmm.
I looked around all museums. I think with pictures, galleries.
Hmm.
Mm, yes, I looked around Louvre, but I haven't enough time to see maybe a half of the Louvre. I see only maybe 10% of Louvre. I looked for around 10% of Louvre. And when I was in Amsterdam, I looked around all museums that I could because I bought special card for to visit museums. I had some discounts
Mm-hmm.
to visit different museums.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you had discounts and stuff like that. We had like a fast pass or something like that when we were in France, so we could go in past all the other lines, and so that was really nice. So we didn't actually have to stand in line at the Louvre, so it was cool. So how about you, Mark? When you travel, do you look around museums, or do you usually skip those for other types of things?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I love doing that. Museum and historical places are always at the top of my list. And usually when I go to the museums, I take my nephews with me, and
Mm-hmm.
because my brother doesn't care about that so much, but I do. I love art. I think art is a kind of food for the soul, so I try to to take my nephews with me when I go to
Mm-hmm.
these places.
Cool. Yeah. All right. And Constantine, how about you? Do you usually look around museums when you travel, or do you usually skip them? Because some people skip them, I know. So.
It depends on my mood.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Sometimes I I go to museum uh, and look around uh, um, uh, uh, look around. No, I visit to different exhibitions and uh, um, I see science in, but no, sometimes it's not interesting because uh, there are many. Sorry,
No worries.
uh,
Okay.
I lose my mind.
Yeah. What you didn't actually lose your mind. What you lost, and this happens to me all the time as well. Okay. First of all, what you lost is you lost your train of thought. So in English, we'll say,
I
I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was saying because I
Yeah,
forgot the
yes,
word.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I
lost my
lost my
train
train of
of
thought.
thought.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. And that's a good, it's good for everybody to learn as well. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I forgot what I was saying. That happens to native speakers and non-native speakers alike. So, all right, travel
Just a
verbs.
question, Holly,
Uh-huh.
before
Yes. Uh-huh.
you continue. Can I say I dream of visiting? Is dream of visiting a place or dream about visiting a place?
A dream of. So I dream of
Uh,
visit. For example, I have dreamed. Usually you put this in the present perfect because it's something you've done for a long time and you will probably continue in the future. So I have
mhm.
dreamed of visiting the Philippines.
Okay.
For example, since I was 9 years old.
Okay.
For
Understand.
example,
Thank
I just wrote that down just as an example.
you. Okay.
Um, so
Holly,
yeah,
you use word, but I don't know this word. Skip. What is it?
to skip,
Skip. Can you write this in Webmin chat?
to skip. Um, to skip. There's several meanings for to skip. To skip means to go past. So, for example, with these, I skipped the two phrasal verbs to pick up and to drop off because I wasn't sure what questions to ask. So I skipped those. Yeah, Mark wrote it down to avoid. So, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's look at these. I think we have too early. It's still in the middle of the night. Okay, so we're still working on these same phrasal verbs: to pick up, to look around, to drop off, to check in, to look around, to look forward, and to set off. So this first one, Lena, what can you go ahead and see if you can figure this one out?
I think we have set off too early. It's still the middle of the night.
Yes, I think we have set off too early. It's still the middle of the night. Perfect. Perfect. Now, have you ever done that when you have gone on a trip, Lena, where you have set off way too early and then you go, oh, what did I do? I need to take a nap.
Yeah, when I traveled to Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
our plane have to be in the early morning, and we set off in midnight.
Midnight.
Because
Oh,
yes, because we have a lot of time and we haven't what we have to do in this time in the city. So we went to the airport and we were waiting our plane.
Okay.
So we set off too early. We have set off too early.
We had set off too early. Good. All right. Hello, Ake. Nice to see you.
Yes, hello. Good to see you again.
Yes, nice to see you. So, how about you? Okay, to set off means to leave on a trip too early. Leave to begin it. No, not to leave or too early. It's to begin a journey. Okay, to begin a trip. So, have you ever set off on a trip too early?
Yeah. When I went to America, so I need to get the first train, local airplane, on this local airport. So I have to get up very early, and there's no train that in such early morning. So I forgot how can I do that. There's a train, so I could go the first the first train to go to the airplane and subway. Yeah.
Okay,
And,
so you got up to go to the very first train.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And Mark, have you ever set off too early on a trip?
Yeah, I have once, and it was a bad idea. It was the winter time, and so we got, I would try this expression, mist shrouded. You guys used that or not?
You got misrouted? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a really bad idea.
Okay, because you got
Yeah,
misrouted because it was so early.
Yeah, it was too early.
Oh, okay.
It was winter.
Uh-huh.
Time, so.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I usually when I hear that, I usually think of airplanes. Where they route you the wrong way or because of fog or something like that, they might just route you somewhere else. So, but also it could be cars too, if the car is the road's closed for some reason. Constantine, how about you? Have you ever set off on a trip too early?
Of course. It happens very often. It can be 3 a.m. or 4. It's not. It isn't problem for me because if you plant a long if you have a long flight, you can sleep in the plane. Um, I because I don't know what can I do in the plane. Sleeping is very good idea for spending time in the in the plane.
Okay. Yes. If you set off too early, yeah, exactly. I remember once, it was right before I moved to Korea, and I was moving my car and some of my stuff back to Idaho. I was living in Oregon, and I decided that I was gonna travel right through downtown Portland, and I wanted to miss the morning rush hour, and so I set off at 4 or 5 in the morning. And as I was driving down the interstate, about 7 or 8 in the morning or 9, I found myself going to sleep. So I had to stop at a rest stop and take a nap. Thankfully I didn't hit anything, but I woke up. I fell asleep at the wheel, and I woke up, and my car was veering towards a big cement block thing that woke me up. So
wow.
yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago, but it did wake me up, definitely. So,
Well, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
One reason to set up early is you can avoid traffic jam.
That's why I did it.
On the road. You can plan your exact time to reach the airport. But if you set off your journey in the afternoon, you can't plan. You must go to the airport
Early.
I can't too early to have spare hours, maybe. I don't know. It's right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you, like, one time when I was in Finland, it was right after I first arrived there, and I didn't know much about the train system at all. To me, a train was like an airplane. So I ended up showing up at the train station 4 hours early. I just lived down the street, but I didn't want to miss the train. So that was kind of a silly thing. All right, next one. Mark, can you do this one? Andy was at the airport.
Okay. Andy was dropping off at the airport in the classic car.
Perfect. Andy was dropped off at the airport in a classic car. Now, there's another phrasal verb that we were practicing that would also work. Can you think of what that one would be? Picked up at the airport. So you can say Andy was picked up at the airport in a classic car, or he was dropped off. They can be used the same, but they have completely different meanings. So, have you ever been picked up or dropped off in a classic car?
Unfortunately not. It would be awesome.
No,
Not yet.
has anybody here ever been picked up or dropped off in a classic car?
Once I was dropped off to the airport in a limo. In a limo.
Really? It was at
Yeah,
your
really?
wedding?
No.
Or,
There are 6 of us, and to taxi to airport and cost same price. How much? How cost Lima? And we choose Riva because it's same price for us.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, well, that
It was
totally makes
funny.
sense. I've heard that people do that when they're traveling in New York City. They will pool their money and they realize that taking a limo is just as cheap as taking a taxi. so
Yeah.
they'll do a limo. Okay. So Constantine, can you do this next one?
Michelle usually look around historical remains when on vacation.
Yeah, so Michelle usually looks around. So do you ever look around with historical remains when on vacation, Constantine?
Yeah, of course. I look around historical remains, historical buildings and monuments.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay. All right. And how about you,
some,
Ake? Oh, so continue, Constantine.
Sometimes it's worth to pay attention. May I say? Do you understand?
Sometimes it's worth it to pay attention.
It's worth it.
Yeah. So it's worth it to pay attention. That's my problem. I think when I go on tours and stuff, I end up at these kind of things, and I don't appreciate it when I'm there. So, all right, Ake, how about you? Do you usually look around historical remains when on vacation?
Yeah, if it is interesting, yes, I would see such kind of places. And watching the picture and actually go there is a bit different. I can see, how can I say, atmosphere. I can experience the atmosphere there. So that's one attraction of sightseeing.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Thank you. We're going to go on. Okay, can you do the next one? Tom isn't something, the camping trip. First of all, here are the idioms, the phrasal verbs. We have pick up, we've already done, to look around, to drop off, to check in, to look forward, and to set off. What phrasal verb do you think this one is?
Tom isn't camping. It's always rain. Okay.
You need to see him again.
Sure. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom always drop off to drive some. No. Begin set excited about future event. Sure ticket visits to set up.
No, to set up is to begin a journey. So, how about this one?
Look forward.
So he isn't.
Isn't look forward the camping trip.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay. So Tom isn't looking forward to the camping trip. It always rains. How about you, Ake? Do you enjoy camping, and do you look forward to camping trips, or do you not look forward to them?
Now I prefer sleep on my bed. So I'm not looking forward to sleeping in the camp.
So now you
I'm
now
not
you
looking forward to sleeping on the camp, in the camp.
oh, in the camp because you want to sleep in a bed.
Yes.
So, all right. And how about you, Mark? Do you enjoy camping and do you look forward to going camping or do you not look forward to it?
No way, I hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm allergic to mosquitoes, bites. I can't stand camping trips.
Okay. All right. Okay, excellent. Let's go to the next one here. Lena, can you put in the correct phrasal verb for this one?
Charles forgot to send a driver to uh, drop off a
How about
client from the airport or to pick up
to pick up? Because we've got the
a
from,
client
so
from the
to pick
airport.
up. It's only to pick up. And the reason we have,
Only.
yeah, the other one will work with both of them, but this one will only work with pick up. And the reason is we've got from the airport, right?
Okay. If you want to go to the airport, we can use to drop off, yeah?
Yeah. Charles forgot to send a driver to drop off a client at the airport.
At the airport, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all right. So, Elena, question for you: have you ever been like this man, and you realize that you forgot to drop off or pick up your kids or clients or anything like that?
No, I think I haven't such experience, but sometimes I have a few minutes before my train, and I hurry up, and maybe my face is look my face looks as face this man. And I have some experience when I went to the train station and my train was there. I went into the train and train went from the station
Oh,
after
really?
that.
Okay.
Yes, so it was some bad. I think it was some bad experience
Uh-huh. Okay.
because my mood was so. I was so impressed about the situation.
Okay. Okay. You were so impressed with the situation instead of about with.
And
Okay.
I had headache after that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go to this last one. Okay. What do you think this one is?
Nowadays, many people online before they got airport. Many people
Let me give you the choices since you weren't here.
people look around.
Okay. All right. Actually, can anybody help? Okay, since he wasn't here anyway.
Check in.
Check in. Many people check in online before they get to the airport. Excellent. All right. Okay. So, okay, question for you. Do you usually check in online before you go to the airport, or do you check in when you arrive?
I've only experienced checking at the airport, but I'd like to try checking online before. It sounds convenient.
Hmm. Yeah. So you do. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I've never checked in online, but
Hmm.
I'd like to try it. Sounds convenient.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It is. I think everybody else in the class except for me does it. So, all right. Let's go on. Do we have? Actually, we're out of time. So Elena, have a wonderful day. Um, Ake, have a wonderful Ake and Constantine have a wonderful afternoon and evening. So I think Constantine, your morning's almost over, and Mark, sleep well when you finally get there. So,
Yeah.
all right, thank
Thank you.
you, you guys. Have a
Thank
good
you.
Thank
day.
you, Harley. Have a
Bye-bye.
good night. Bye bye.